We're back here on Falcons Daily. It's a Monday. I'm your guy, CG Craig Green. If you'd like to give me a follow on social media, you can find me at Craig G Sports, CRAIG, the letter G, and the word sports. FanArch, they power Falcons Daily. You can find them at FanArch Co, FANARCHCO. And also like to give a huge shout out to our friends at Underdog Fantasy. Their logo is right there. They sponsor this show as well. Thank you for sponsoring Falcons Daily. You can find them at Underdog Fantasy. And if you'd like to take advantage of their bonus offer of $75 of bonus bets after you play your first $5, scan this QR code right there, and that'll get you in the action courtesy of our friends at Underdog. First of all, let's talk about Kirk Cousins on the NFL Today on CBS. All I saw on social media about it was rave reviews about he's going to be a great analyst when his playing days are over. He's so smart. He's this and that. You know, he's intelligent and insightful and yada, yada, yada. These are all things we already knew. I mean, to me, when I watch him, he totally talks like a dad. When I watch him at Falcons press conferences, I feel like he talks like a dad talking to kids or teaching or something like that. That's the vibe I get from Kirko. Today during the, or yesterday, excuse me, on the NFL Today, he did pick the Patriots to win that game, and the Patriots did win. They'll be moving on to play in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks in Santa Clara. So, did Kirk say anything controversial, eye-opening during his appearance on the NFL Today? Not really. It's just kind of cool to see our guy up there. Next year, will he be a Falcon? That's a big question. Just don't know, but I think the answer to that question is no. I think he's going to be a free agent and move on to another team. You know, when you think about landing spots for Kirk Cousins, I mean, really, where could it be? I mean, maybe Arizona, places he could start right away. Don't know. I mean, off the top of my head, I mean, possibly Pittsburgh. You know, it'd be another landing spot. You know, Arthur Smith has now moved on to coach at Ohio State, so they're going to be looking for a new offensive coordinator and a new person under Mike McCarthy. So we'll see how all that goes. But Kirk did look good out there. You know, he was dressed to the nines, has a little turtleneck on, was out there, you know, pregame chilling with his drip and his swag. You know, Kirko chains representing for the A. You know, remember he was replacing Matt Ryan, who is now the president of football for the Falcons. If you didn't know, if you were underneath a rock somewhere, but that's how Kirko got on TV today. And again, I thought he did a pretty good job. Didn't say anything that was going to raise any eyebrows whatsoever. Again, just kind of good to see the Falcons represented at this time of the season, even with us being out of the playoffs. And right now, because we're out of the playoffs, we can look at draft, right? We can look at the NFL draft and kind of ponder over who we think the Falcons could end up taking. We don't have a pick till the second round. So, you know, just daydreaming about it, you know, what if we were able to land somebody of a position of need? You know, for me, we need wide receiver. We need cornerback. We need tight end help. We need defensive line help. So any of those, to me, would be good. You know, some of the names that come to mind for me, for example, Makai Lemon from USC, Casey Concepcion, Texas A&M. Will they be available to us around pick 48? Who knows? Jake Golday, the linebacker out of Cincinnati. How about the linebacker out of Georgia, C.J. Allen? Would any of these players be hanging around that second round? How about Avion Terrell, the brother of A.J. out of Clemson? Was it possible that we could score the other Terrell brother and have AJ and Avion across from each other, playing for the Falcons in 2026? Looking at a couple mock drafts that we had also, we had a mock draft that I found from Walter Football. They're projecting us to take Elijah Pritchett, the offensive tackle out of Nebraska. Their reasoning is, the uncertainty behind Caleb McGarry, and also the fact that Jake Matthews is getting a little older, to maybe shore up some offensive line help and some depth. I don't know, that's okay if we're stockpiling for the future, but we're trying to win right now. So the other mock draft I saw where the Falcons were involved, 48th overall pick, This is done by tankathon.com. They projecting Lee Hunter out of Texas Tech, who had 2.5 sacks for the Red Raiders, a forced fumble, 41 tackles on the season. But whoever we get in the second round for the Falcons, that pick has got to be somebody who is going to have to start day one. Remember, we don't have a first round pick in the second in the 2026 draft because we used we traded it away to the Rams to be able to draft James Pierce Jr., who hopefully will be hoisting up the NFL's AP Defensive Rookie of the Year award. That would be pretty sweet thing to do while we're watching some of these playoffs. And speaking of the playoffs, our friends at Underdog, a quick word from Underdog that the football playoffs are here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the gridiron action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, and more. If you get them right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. Yesterday on Underdog, I was watching the conference championship between LA and Seattle. I took Matthew Stafford to have higher than 0.5 rushing yards, and I won. And my money was in my account right after the game was over. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use promo code FOOTBALLFAN to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code FOOTBALLFAN. Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-878 or text HOMI 467-369.
Welcome back to Falcons Daily. We have our special guest here, my sweet baby Harper. She's back. She is back here. Harper, how was your New Year's? Great. It's a snowed-in edition of Falcons Daily because there's no school today. We've got a bunch of ice on the ground, some snow and things like that. So Harper's joining us right here again today.
And it's a brand new year, so we're going to have a great time.
That's right. Harper, we've got a brand new head coach for the Falcons. What is his name?
Kevin Stefanski.
That's right. Pretty close. Kevin Stefanski. He is going to be having a press conference on Tuesday in Flowery Branch at the Falcons facility, and they're still trying to fill out his coaching staff, right? They're trying to get his coaching staff together. We do know that, hold on one second, we know that Stefanski is bringing back Jeff Ulbrich, the defensive coordinator. That is a big, big move to bring him back. We know the offensive coordinator is going to be Tommy Rees, who's coming with Kevin Stefanski from the Cleveland Browns to Atlanta. We don't know who the special teams coordinator will be just yet. But here's some of the things we'll probably expect to hear Kevin Stefanski to say. You know, first thing I think he's going to want to talk about, Harper, is I think he's going to want to talk about winning, like getting the Falcons back to winning, what our quarterback situation looks like, who he wants to be the quarterback. I'm sure they're going to ask him some of these questions. I would not expect any answers from Stefanski that are going to set the NFL on fire. He'll probably give some sort of a diplomatic answer about as to what they'll do at the position. You know, the best guy will do this or that. You know, don't expect him to say, "Well, yeah, we're going to let Kirk Cousins walk and we're going to free up that money. We're going to go get somebody else, and we're going to bring in Dorian Thompson-Robinson. We're going to trade for Shedeur Sanders and all these other things." That's probably not going to happen.
No.
Correct, that won't happen. But Kevin Stefanski, Harper, he's our brand new head coach. He won the NFL Coach of the Year 2 times with the Cleveland Browns. Not once, but twice. That's hard to do with the Cleveland Browns.
Kevin Stefanski did that?
He did. He won the Coach of the Year 2 times, Harper. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
What another great thing to start the new year.
Yes. And now there's a thing about Kevin Stefanski. Now, a lot of folks, there is a lot of people who aren't really happy with the hire of Kevin Stefanski as the Falcons coach because they look at the last 2 years with the Browns, and the Browns had only won 7 games combined in the last 2 seasons, right? So that doesn't, look very good. But again, Stefanski is going to have more talent to work with in Atlanta than he did in Cleveland. He's going to have Bijan Robinson. What do you think about Bijan Robinson? Do you think he's a good football player, great football player, or not that good? What do you think of Bijan Robinson? Number 7.
Good.
Good? Yep. Bijan Robinson is up for AP Offensive Player of the Year, Harper. He could win an award and bring it back to Atlanta. So the biggest questions, again, we have offensively will probably be quarterback, tight end, and those I wouldn't expect solid answers tomorrow from Stefanski on those type of things. But you can expect to hear him talk about what it will take for the Falcons to get back to the big old game that we're going to see next year, the Super Bowl 61. It'd be great to see the Falcons get back into it. The 10 years after losing Super Bowl 51 to the New England Patriots, and we know Super Bowl 60 is coming up a week from this Sunday coming up, right, in Santa Clara, California. Harper, tell everybody what you think the Falcons need to do to get back to the Super Bowl. How can they get to the Super Bowl next season?
They need to tackle a lot. They need to throw the ball, run the ball a lot. Try to find people open, stuff like that.
I like it. Yeah, they have to execute better. They have to play better football. You know, Harper, last year, the Falcons, they won 8 games. They lost 9 games, right? They had 8 wins and 9 losses. And in those 9 losses, Harper, the Falcons were winning the game in the last 2 minutes of the game. They were winning. And if they would have won just one of those games, Harper, the Falcons would have made the playoffs this season.
They almost did.
They almost did, yes.
Yes.
We won the last 4 games in a row. We beat, basically this season, the Falcons played 3 of the 4 teams that were playing on championship weekend. They played the Rams, they played the Seahawks, and they played the Patriots. And they did beat the Rams, but they lost to the Seahawks, and they lost to the Patriots by 1 point. 1 point in New England.
Just one? They not like...
Yep.
Not like...
Just 1.
2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8.
Yep. The final score was 24-23.
Like 2, 4, 6, 8. Something not like that.
Right, just 1 point. And that was the one game on your prediction when we did the schedule prediction show, when you predicted how many wins and losses the Falcons would have. Guess what? That was the one game you said the Falcons would lose to the Patriots, and you were right. They lost 24-23.
That's the first time I've ever...
That's okay.
That's the first time that it ever came true.
Yeah, it happens. All right, so now, Harper, I want to get from you your prediction on who's going to win the Super Bowl. Okay, who's going to win it? The Patriots are in it, and looks like the Seattle Seahawks are in it as well. So Seahawks or Patriots, who's going to win?
Hold on, let me think about it for a second. Do you know how many wins they each have?
Yeah, the Seahawks, they won 14 games. They went 14-3 in the regular season, and the Patriots went 14-3 also. So they had the same record, and this game is not going to be at either team's stadium. It's going to be at Santa Clara at the 49ers stadium.
Okay, I think I need my thoughts. So I think I'll say questions real quick.
Okay.
So one of my questions are, I think it might be a tie,
Well, if it's a tie, it's going to go to overtime because somebody has to win.
Yeah.
So who do you think between the Seahawks, and the Patriots?
Okay, maybe the Patriots.
Okay, you're going to take the Patriots?
Yeah.
All right.
And I would say my second question is, I'm kind of confused, and also, how do you say his name again? Kevin Stefanski?
Yep, that's it. Kevin Stefanski. What are you confused about?
Kind of how, like, okay, I think I forgot what I'm confused about.
We'll get back to it on that, but one thing we know for certain is that, the big game's in a couple of weeks, again, February 8th, in Santa Clara, and that will be the Seahawks and the New England Patriots. What do the Falcons need to do to get back to the Super Bowl, Harper? Super Bowl 61. It's a 2-letter answer. I can tell you what it is. Rise up. That's what they got to do. They got to rise up. All right, y'all. We're gonna rise up out of here, and we're gonna enjoy the rest of our Monday. Y'all stay safe out there. If you guys are on the East Coast like we are, if you're dealing with any bad weather, make sure you look around, find shelters. If you lost your power, there's going to be shelters around where you live. Get to a shelter. If you can't get out of your house, stay warm, stay safe. Don't leave unless you absolutely must. And we will be right back here on Tuesday with more Falcons Daily. Until then, I'm your guy CG.
After tomorrow, I will not be there because I will have school again.
She'll be in school. I'll be right here. And we'll see you on Falcons Daily again. Harper, break it down for everybody.
Sayonara and buenos noches. Goodbye, Falcon fam.